The EndSARS Lekki Toll Guard massacre. This remembrance of today is dedicated to all the comrades that were lost. May God accept their soul in peace.
Amen.
On that night of 20th October 2020 in Lagos, Nigeria, the conditions were ripe for murder. What followed became a brutal insane slaughter that shook the world. To understand Nigeria, first, you must understand the whole EndSARS story. This is a long walk. Behind all the facade, Nigeria is a story of scandals, betrayals, even murder. When the suppression of the protest came, it was astonishingly brutal. Slaughtered by the army, the youths of Nigeria were cut down in the most chaotic, insane manner. And when the guns died out, their bodies were carried away. In Nigeria, since 1975, a ruling class called the establishment managed an amazing feat. They hanged on to power right into the 21st century. The establishment is an elite group of 1% Nigerians with an unparalleled control over the lives of the citizens. They control all the powers and wield it as they please, controlling all the facets of our lives and the factors of production. Nigerians can do nothing, just absolutely nothing. There will be no bonfire, no protests. Nigerians will continue to live in peace under great fear. In what is best described as the Pax Nigerian or Nigerian peace, all the arms of government are carefully maintained. People keep on voting. The legislature and the courts continue to sit. They continue to sit. And that is how the democracy in Nigeria died out without any official proclamation. The establishment is a roll call of unscrupulous characters, waiting then they call them myself. And despite their best effort to place themselves among our world modern respectably, they failed to change Nigeria. They kept millions of Nigerians in medieval servitude. Nigeria has never been a democracy. It was, and it still is, a semi-colonial and a feudalist state. Reinventing Nigeria, you will have to reimagine everything. For most young people who grew up in Nigeria, it is hard to shake off the entire EndSARS slaughter. Images of military might display at the Lekki toll gate. They have been seared into our minds. In a little under a fortnight, the Nigerian army turned around our fortunes. In the lead to the massacre, the Nigerian police harassed and killed innocent Nigerians because they can. The protest was leaderless. There has been years of police brutality and extortion. Things came into a climax in October of 2020. In the twinkling of an eye, protests erupted in Ogbomosho, Oyo State. On the 11th, it will take the life of our comrade Jimo Issa. His death inspired other loud voices to join. Afraid that the protest may lead to an uprising, the rulers in Nigeria began to envisage brutal crackdown, even murder. It was a fateful night at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos, with conditions that were ripe for murder. A tragedy that shook the world. On the night of the peaceful demonstrative rallies, a Twitter user even tweeted the army were on the way to the toll gate. But innocent Nigerian youths maintained their position. Overwhelmed by the pent-up anger bursting from the inside, we never imagined that the army, who are supposed to protect us, were out for murder. At 6:45 p.m. on the 20th, being today the 3 years, our comrade stationed on that locale spotted the army convoy directly ahead. Armed with just placards singing the national anthem at the top of our lungs, we thought that those were symbolic. They would save us. We were wrong. By the time the army arrived and opened fire, it was too late. Overcome by the force of numbers and bullets, confusion and chaos ignited. Many youth died. Others lived to count their losses. The cross movement of statistics of horror was staggering. And when the guns died down, our comrades were gone, their bodies carried away by the army just like that. Then came to the denials. Premium gaslighting to agents of this government. We can't forget Shegun Ados. Oh, let's, I can go on and on and on. Producer, it just, let's take what we prepared in-house for our own audience to see how we feel about this 3 years anniversary. Let's take that quietly because I'm actually feeling very emotional, right?
Yes, I remember when you were reading it, when you were saying all the things you were saying, I had lots of goosebumps right now, and I just had to take a minute to like calm down and receive everything. Because
it is time we take over our country.
Yes.
It's time we take back our country.
Yes. Let their deaths and the sacrifices not be in vain. The only thing they came out to do that period was just to say, don't judge me by the way I look, with what I say, with how I dress. And then they just like massacred everybody. The main people they were supposed to protect us came against us in broad daylight like this. And they just made it look like the only weapons they had were placards. So we want that the fight is still on. The objective of that EndSARS is still on. And we hope that this battle ends on Monday.
It's not going to end on Monday. It's going to start on Monday. It's going to start on Monday. That is the end time. That is the bus stop. After the Supreme Court, there is no other place. It is either we do that now, or we forget about it for the next 8 years. It is up to us either to take back our country and tell Supreme Court our mind and what we want and how the Constitution sees these things. Production team, please, let's take a listen to what we put in place.
On 20th October 2020, Nigeria government off lights by innocent citizens for Lekki Tollgate.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says no death was recorded in Tuesday night attack in the Lekki Tollgate area of Lagos State. Sanwo-Olu admitted that soldiers opened fire on EndSARS protesters.
Those who suffer casualty during the gunshot need to answer some questions too. How are they there? How long were they there? What kind of characters are they?
Military, they off the light. Today, 20th October. We are helpless. We are peaceful, they are killing us. We are dying. 8 people. We are dying.
We don't think why our country people begin suffer.
The kind shaking wey our eye don't see, our mouth no fit talk am. Bag of rice wey dey buy 10k before, e don reach 50k now.
Oh yeah, yakata for we country. But yet, we still dey suffer on top poor matter.
You go school, spend 6 to 7 years on top 4-year course, all because of ASUU strike.
And you go still comot, you no go see work. Now, the power dey our hand to choose better person. We get the capacity to make Nigeria better. And the only person wey fit do am for us na Peter Obi.
Naija, make we no miss this opportunity.
Yes, it's Peter Obi that is the answer. But at this very moment, we need to join forces. Both the people who believe that it's Atiku Abubakar and people who think that it's Peter Obi. I'm talking about well-meaning Nigerians. This is the time to take the country back. Maxwell, sorry I've been emotional since, going through this EndSARS stuff. 3 years down the line, we are still where we left off. Even the EndSARS, they said they were going to end. They never ended. They continue doing the same thing. Our youths are dying on each day from their hands and all of that. So please, give me your own perspective on this. Do you think that, like I said, the Supreme Court is the last bus stop, and I think that the Nigerian youth should, at this very point, take their country back? What is your thoughts on this?
Now, everything you see that's happened in 2022 down to 2023, the entire movement by youths, by old, by the young, to take back their country at the polls was heralded, was bettered by the EndSARS protest. So it took a lot of emotions for us to get to this point where we are. It's unfortunate that youths who came out to protest, who came out to air their views, their displeasures against government policies, government high-handedness, security operatives, and how they massacre Nigerians at their own free will, without any compulsion or coercion, that they were met by more inhuman treatment by the armed forces. They were met by gunshots from the same military, from the same police that were made to protect them. The same bullets that our tax monies bought is what they used to kill us. Mr. Kanu, it is not only the people who went 6 feet below that died on that day. A lot of destinies died on that day. A lot of souls, a lot of hard work was lost on that day. A lot of people lost their legs. Some legs were amputated. Some hands were amputated. A lot of things happened that cannot be gotten back just by closing eyes and opening eyes and telling and saying sorry. But till today, 3 years after, Nigerians are still held up in confinement, in prisons for protesting in Nigeria. People whose lives have not been given back to them, for those who their passports were seized, for those who their funds were blocked, a lot of things have not been given back to them. And we live in Nigeria and we see all these things happen. 3 years. Remember that we also saw in recent months to about, I think, 104 or over 100 dead bodies. And I began to ask, where did these bodies come from? They moved from the stage of denial that there was even any shooting to the stage of accepting that they were shooting but not live bullets, and to the stage of saying that nobody died, taking videos and there were evidence that showed otherwise. This is the country we are living in, that a criminal organization like the APC gave to us. Remember that it was under the time, under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari that all these things happened. And we still saw it, even when this power was given to Bola Tinubu. That people who came out to rally, the death of Mohbad, were met with, shootings, tear gassing, and all sorts of inhuman treatments by the police officers. This is our bane in today's society. And except we face this head on, and I'm calling on Nigerians that the only way to get it right is to go back to that same street. I know that you may be traumatized by whatever you have faced in 2020, everything that happened on the 20th day. What better time to have this conversation than today? We need to hit it. There is no time. It is street o'clock. I'm calling on every Nigerian out there to tell you that you are not going to get your country back if you keep on sitting and going on live. As of today, we are talking about dollar being at about 1,200 naira, at about 1,100 naira. Pound is about 1,300 naira. And this is crazy. Canadian dollars is around 900 or close to 1,000 naira. These figures are crazy and mind-boggling. So it means that even for a person who wants to study abroad, the person may not be able to afford it. This is our reality. And for a country that imports everything, virtually everything we feed on, everything we use, it's being imported. So foreign exchange is there. You need to exchange money, the Nigerian currency, to get dollars. Now you need more naira to get small dollars. And it's a shame. It's actually shameful for Mahmoud Yakubu, who selected Bola Tinubu against the wish and aspirations of majority of Nigerians. And actually, it's unfortunate for the Court of Appeal to have upheld this. Bola Tinubu forged the certificate he presented to INEC as against the provision of Section 137, subsection 1, paragraph J of the 1999 Constitution. He should never, Bola Tinubu, forfeit $460,000 as proceeds from narcotics trafficking, from drugs dealing, from money laundering. The records are there. It is available to the public. Anybody who cares can browse these things and see it. A person who cannot be traced to any paternal lineage, to any maternal lineage, No document showing his birth, no document showing his primary school education, no document showing his secondary school education, absolute nothing, no work history whatsoever that can be verified. Over 7,000 pages of criminal records in the United States. This is mad. This is insane. And it's actually unfortunate. It's an insult to our collective intelligence and our collective, to who we are, that we are having these arguments in the 21st century. This person should not even be a class captain of a primary school. Never. This should never have happened. And it's unfortunate. So I'm calling on youths out there, take your country. Take your country. We can do better than what we are already seeing. They're already preparing on how to give us injustice. But if you continue sitting back at the comforts of your home, trust me, you may not be able to feed tomorrow and all die. Person go still die. Everybody go die one day. Do not be afraid for your life. He who tries to preserve his life will eventually lose it. So what is there? We need to take back our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu.
Yeah, thank you, Maxwell. I will get over to you. Let's come back to studio. See, say Esther, your mouth they do me. You won't even cry. See, say tear, you they clean your eyes.
Well, it's very, very emotional. What happened on the 20th of October 2020 will never be forgotten. Yeah. So, in the history of Nigeria, in the history of humanity, it was we saw hell on earth. Police brutality. The people that are supposed to protect us now turn their back to fight against us.
And not just that, you recall that Saworu governor, as at that time, came out to say that no lives were lost, even on a CNN interview. You recall that?
He said it was only 2 people that were killed during the violence. But earlier, middle of this year, they brought out a letter that about mass burial for 103 bodies.
I think about more than 1,000, but and the budget of millions to do that. But let's take a listen to that very CNN interview, how he was stammering on those things. So, producer, can you please put us through to that CNN interview where they were just lying on what happened at Lekki Tollgate? Let's take a listen to that.
What has happened is there's been so many footages that we're seeing that people have shown. Well, we've not seen bodies, we've not seen relatives, we've not seen anybody truly coming up to say, indeed, XYZ, I'm a father, I'm a mother to someone, and I cannot find that person. Nobody has turned up, right? I've been to the ground. There is no scratch of blood anywhere there.
Who ordered people to be shot, and which branch of security services carried out the shootings?
Well, I mean, from the footage that we could see, because there are cameras that are at that facility, it seems to me that there will be men in military uniform, which will be Nigerian army or something.
So you're saying that it was military officers who ordered peaceful protesters to be shot at Lekki?
Yeah, that's what
Lekki
the pictures,
Tollgate.
yes. They were there. That's what the footage, I mean, that's what it shows.
Will that CCTV footage at the tollgate be part of the investigation that you have now called for?
It will be. Certainly it will be. It will be. And they're starting on Monday. They're going to be available for the judicial panel to review. It will be.
Do you commit to a full investigation of what happened on the ground?
Absolutely, I do.
And will people be held accountable?
They certainly would. I mean, we'll do everything to ensure that they are held accountable. We'll do everything.
It's a very simple question. Will they be held accountable?
Well, I mean, to the extent that I'm not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, I mean, I'm the governor of the state, right? The report will be out. We will channel the report to all the relevant authorities in the state to ensure that everyone that is found culpable is accountable for the act.
When I see the question where they ask, you understand, who will be held accountable? 3 years down the line, nobody in Nigeria has been held accountable for the loss of lives. And like you said before we watched this very interview, they have budgeted millions of naira to actually bury people that they don't even search for their relatives and all of that. And recall, before this very CNN interview, he had previously granted an interview where he said no lives were lost. Yeah. Even on this very CNN interview, he said he went there and he did not see
any blood, no stain of blood on the floor.
No stain of blood. And yet, he had made budget for millions of naira this year to bury that. I think, do we have this thing so that we can project this to our audience to see that later once again, where they budgeted millions of naira, which of course they said to bury the EndSARS victims. Yes. Now, Maxwell, let me just quickly get to you on this. The CNN interviewer was very specific about who will they be held accountable. I mean, the people who massacred the people, when he said that they are going to conduct an inquiry and they're going to be an investigation, and that after the investigation, that they're going to have somebody must be held accountable. Now, tell me, 3 years down the line in this same country, nobody have been held accountable, and they want to bury more than is it more than 100 or 1,000 people? 103 people who are dead body. They call them unknown, and nobody is held accountable. 3 years after, and yet the youth of Nigeria, who are in their millions, you understand me, can't come out and take back their country. Do you understand? Yeah. It is time. Maxwell, I don't know if you are still on Zoom. Producer, can you please ask Maxwell to unmute so that he could join us on this topic?
And I found out that many protesters are still being held in prison. UC Maxwell posted it one time. Many protesters are still held in prison. Many protesters they were not compensated. Like, all these kind of things that will happen. Either they cut your leg, maybe something happened.
Some people are still in prison.
Nothing has happened.
No without trial.
Exactly. No armed forces, no armed personnel has been held responsible. If you watch when the lady was asking him, it's a simple question of yes or no. Will they be held accountable? Yes. He was just saying long stories. We will. What is that? This is a joke. He's taking the youth of this country as a joke, and it's time that we come out in mass and say it's enough. We are done with the bullshit they throw at us, with the rubbish that they're throwing at us. We are done receiving it and shoving it down our throats to swallow. This is it. This is the time that we are going to come out and say this is how it's going to be. We are the ones that are actually putting you in place in these offices to serve us, to be the ones that will actually say, okay, we gave you those powers, you didn't take it on your own. We are the ones that give it to you. And if they put you there, because like the first person on the seat, which is referred to as Mr. Tinubu, we are not the one that chose him. They put him there. And now we are the ones that are going to tell him, no, we don't want you no more. We want the right person, the right people that we opened our eyes to vote, to be on that seat, and that have our interest at heart. Because these people, they don't care about us. They just care about themselves. They care about their pockets. They care about everything that concerns them and nothing about the people.
Yeah, but I think at this very point, we have to basically look at it from the perspective of where we are. We are the last bus stop, which is the Supreme Court. Yes. Now, the Supreme Court might not look at it from the public perception, or as they say, no matter how weighty the allegations are, the public opinion is, they must look at it from the Constitution, you understand? Okay. Now let us even go with them, with the Constitution, you understand me? Yeah. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very specific, especially where it comes to forgery, you understand me? Yes. And even the Supreme Court itself has said clearly that they don't entertain forgery, you understand? Yes. So I'm asking all well-meaning Nigerians and obedient Wawa to put their feet on that, to be able to, come to talk about the things that has to deal with the forgery as a basis to disqualify Tinubu, because it's not enough for us to, to continue saying, oh, we don't want this. I mean, the facts are clear. The facts I'm talking about is not the truth. There are facts that are truth.
Yeah.
The facts from INEC is that Tinubu has been given the power as the president of Nigeria. You understand?
Yeah.
But then the truth we know is that he is not the person whom the masses voted for.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, that is one part of what is going to the Supreme Court. But the other things are that is clearly constitutional is the certificate forgery. You understand me?
Yeah.
So irrespective of every other thing, since the Supreme Court is a policy, more of a policy court or policy maker, you understand me?
Yes.
Court is to look at the constitution, you understand me, and deal with the issues that are before them, not on technicalities, but on the facts that are available, which is very clear to everybody around the world, not just in Nigeria, and the youths of Nigeria to know that Tinubu presented a forged certificate to INEC, and that on its own is a disqualification statute. He was not supposed to participate in this election in the first place. You understand me? So this is a clear basis to send a signal. So when you are telling Supreme Court to do something, you are asking them to do something that they have power to do.
Yeah.
So it is not to tell them to do something that they don't have power to do, but it's telling them to do something that they have power to do. Now we can see it clearly. It is our eyes are not blind. I mean, the certificate that came out from CSU that he said he collected from, he said by his own mouth. Let's judge him by what he said. He said, I have collected a replacement diploma from Chicago State University. So obviously we know where the certificate is coming from. So having known where the certificate is going, we have to check. Did he actually collect it? CSU, which is Chicago State University, said he never collected it. If he did not collect the certificate from Chicago State University, it means he collected from somewhere. But like I've said, I don't have personal grudges against Tinubu. It is the lies and the lies and the lies that keeps going on. I mean, it has been entertained in 1999. The Supreme Court, probably on technicalities, looked the other way. It has brought again other times. They have looked the other way. But this time around, it is not a time for technicalities or the time to look elsewhere, because Nigeria has been plunged into poverty. And this poverty I'm talking about, whether you are sitting in your crib and you think it's not going to affect you, it's going to affect you. Whether you are a robber, let me tell you, you will find nobody to rob again. Guess what? They don't have money. You can't get it. You want to snatch a car, you can't even get it, because you will be getting a car that won't have a fuel to take you to where you want to sell it. So you see what I'm saying? It's going to affect criminals. It's going to affect everybody, law-abiding citizens. So it's going to affect everybody. So if you think that you are comfortable where you are, I'm telling you, you have a property in Abuja, you say, oh, I have a property. I will tell you something. A time will come when nobody will have money to buy it off you. A time will come when you think, oh, I'm having a very big farmland. When you finish farming on your farmland, even the government will come back and take it from you. So what are we saying here is that the situation we have found ourselves in is a clear, we need a direction, and that direction is on leadership. And obviously, Bola Tinubu cannot lead us. Why? Because he should be disqualified. He presented a false certificate. The point, Chidi, that is just the point. So I will tell all well-meaning Nigerians and obedient worldwide, this is not a time for us actually to say, oh, I am for Atiku, and the other one is, oh, I'm for Peter Obi. You know what? The time has come for everybody to join forces together and have one clear intent. And that intent is that Aso Rock does not belong to somebody who had participated in criminal activities, that is, who had been indicted outside of Nigeria, internationally. I just need to be clear on this. We are at the last bus stop, at the place where, after the Supreme Court, let nobody come and think that you're going to take this case to heaven. God is not going to hear you. God uses people to dispense things on this earth. And the last people that is there waiting for you is the Supreme Court. So don't think that after the Supreme Court that God is going to do some magic. God is not going to do any magic for you. God will do that magic when he has already appointed the people that are going to do it. It's for you to do yours. Take action. I recall whether going biblical or something, where in the scripture, where there's a woman who had an element of blood, and they saw issue of blood, and I think Jesus of Nazareth was passing by, and she has to move and touch the cloth. She has to take it upon herself. She has to take the step.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Even when the Bible said that Jesus healed somebody who was on the way that has an ailment, and when he healed the person, he said, "Pick up your mat and walk." There are certain things that you must do for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
There's certain things that you must do for yourself. So people can't be saying here, "Oh, when you ask somebody, have you eaten today?" They will tell you, "We thank God." My question is, have you eaten today? It is either you've eaten, you have not eaten. We say we thank God. The person we ask, have you gone to school today? We thank God. Everything is we thank God. Now, I'm not saying you should not thank God, but God has said, I have given you the power to overcome things. You understand me? Yes. He said, my grace is enough for you. You understand? Yes. So everything has been placed in our hands. It's up to the youths of this country who are in their millions to say what they want. There is a very clear case of violation of our constitution by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, I may not be on TV to judge him finally, you understand, but it's to present the evidence. Yes. That's what I do. I need to tell you that he violated our constitution. By doing what? By presenting a forged certificate to INEC. Now, he has not even disproved it. He has not come out to tell us, no, you're wrong. This certificate is not fake. You understand? Yeah. It's not a forgery. He has not done that. So what are we? Who is? Anyway, I think maybe I'm overreacting or something.
No, you are not. It's annoying.
Painful.
Yes.
It's quite painful. Like as you're saying this, and I'm still pondering upon it, that even the people that this set of EndSARS people died for, they will think, okay, now the people over here, they have sense, they don't know what to do. But you find out that some persons still support the evil, the ills of this government, like with their full chest. They support it, like they're because of one thing or the other, they will stand to benefit from it. Forgetting that this injustice is like a standing fan. It blows you today, it blows another person tomorrow. So they might support the evil today because of what they are gaining. By tomorrow, they don't know what is going to happen unless they take back this country. We need to do something.
Yeah. It doesn't really see tribe. It does not see color. It does not see if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim. It does not see any of that. As long as we are all in this country, Nigeria, it will affect those on top. It will affect you. In fact, even the rich is suffering now.
Exactly.
So what I will have to say finally is, starting from Monday when Supreme Court is resuming to hear this matter, if you are a youth in Nigeria and in diaspora, if you know what to do, you just do it. The right thing to do, you do it. And the right thing to do at this point is taking our country back. It's not the time for us to be talking again. We are the last bus stop. The hearing kicks off on Monday, being the 23rd of October 2023. If we did not do anything in the next 2 weeks, if we did not take a move to take our country back in the next 2 weeks, we'll have to face what comes with it for the next 8 years. So what am I saying? I am taking this opportunity to reach out. Everybody has their own part to play. I am playing my own part right now. And I will show you again, I will want the producer to show this very disqualification era we're talking about, the certificates. It was very, very clear. Tinubu went to Chatham House, not just in Nigeria. And he told the whole world that he has collected a replacement diploma certificate. And that is what we are seeing on the screen. he has collected a replacement diploma. This is the replacement diploma that came out from Chicago State University. What you are seeing on the screen right now is the replacement diploma that Tinubu said he collected from Chicago State University. How do I know? Because this is what Chicago State University has presented as their replacement diploma. Let's look at what we have on INEC. That's on your screen now. This is what Tinubu presented to INEC. It is not the same thing as that replacement, and that's why we said it's a forgery. End of story. Nothing more. This is enough. This is enough evidence. Nothing else. We are not talking about signatures here again. We are not talking about the font again. We are not talking about the date again. We are talking about the two certificates are clearly not the same certificate. And since they are not the same, one is fake, one is forgery. And a forgery cannot be the one that is still with the school, which is Chicago State University. They still have it. So I call up all the youths in Nigeria. I call the youths in diaspora. It is time for you to stop talking on spaces. Yes, maybe not entirely stop talking on spaces. Those spaces, of course, do their own job, just like we are doing ours here. But there are people who need to march out there and tell the Supreme Court of Nigeria that we know what is written in the Constitution, that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is online. It's all over the social media. We can read them. We can understand them. Somebody said, "Teacher, don't teach me nonsense." Who said that? Well, that is as much as I can go for today. Remember, today is a very, very special day that we need to remember those people we've lost. Those people they want to bury on shallow grave. Those people that budgeted millions of naira that they're sharing upon themselves to go and bury. Those people sacrificed their lives. And you who is hungry out there, and you are talking that is your uncle that is taking your destiny, or it is your grandma that is holding your destiny. No! It is the government that is holding your destiny. It is the leader, those people who lead you, that are taking back the destiny. Not your grandpa. No. Well, it rests with you. With that very one, your mother do muyabi.
Yes, I just wanted to mention something. You know that as the set date is on Monday, Tinubu's camp, they have just been going on illegal action. There's legal action right now to stop FBI from releasing the files they have on him. And these files, you know, he's scared that his plan, all this is just to prevent potential damaging informations from being released. That's if they are actually going to stop FBI. And this action is called reverse Freedom of Information suit. This is to reverse that Freedom of Information Act that is already.
That's why they reopened the case.
Yes, that's why they reopened it. And now they are trying to do the reverse. And with my research, I found out that since, I think, 1979, after one case like that, I think it's Cobb v. Brown case, there has not been any issue of them actually reversing a Freedom of Information Act. Do you understand? Like, there is no place in the act that allows an individual.
There's exemptions, but the exemption does not
necessarily apply to Tinubu. Yes. In this case, it doesn't apply to Tinubu to actually allow him to tell FBI, okay, do not release this anymore. It does not apply to him. So all these things he's doing now is just to, I feel like he's doing all these things to like stall these informations from being released, because the FBI already gave October as the deadline for them to release the first half or the first quarter of what they want. And you know that this case is starting Monday. And hopefully, if they were to release it this weekend or something, it will actually have substantial information against him. So he's doing all these things. He's just running around to delay and stop all these information from coming out. And this is the person that supposedly has our interest at heart. Obviously, he does not. They're just camouflaging all these things, and it's obvious that they are against the people that they are supposed to be serving. And if they are, they should just do what P2B say. Come out and just say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is this." And then they will definitely still punish you, but just come out and save this country from the mess that we are in already. We're in a huge mess. And if, as we have seen that they don't want to save us, it's time we save ourselves.
Exactly.
We have to save ourselves. As we have seen that they don't care about us, they don't have plans to care about us, and they don't have plans to help us and save us. We take it upon ourselves to do it.
Some people are actually happy that they are sharing 30,000, maybe 25,000 naira they are sharing to families. What will 25,000 naira do you? Will it buy you half bag of rice? It can buy you half bag of rice. Some people might say, oh, at least it will reduce the suffering of the people. Families. Let the poor breathe and the rest of it. Are you not ashamed of yourself? 30,000 naira, 25,000 naira. Oh, wages has been, they have given the wages, they have approved wages to be 30,000 naira. What can 30,000 naira buy you in Nigeria of today? Nothing. Collect a salary of 50,000 or 100,000. Let me ask you, can it fuel your car? Anyway, I think where you are actually coming from, or my understanding is that they have been trying all they can, and this rush to reopen the case, because that very case had previously been closed because the court has already ordered FBI and DEA and all the other agencies to release the document, which they have promised they are going to release. Now going back to reopen it, it's like joining issues to say don't open it. And from what you've said, that he's just wasting our own time because of the Supreme Court hearing that is coming on. Obviously, he should know or will have known that the Supreme Court is will be hearing this matter on Monday. So they quickly rushed to the this Kamaike, who is their lawyer in US, to open up that matter to stall it, not really to stop it. Because they know they cannot necessarily stop it. But they want to stall it for the meantime, so it won't be available. The information that are there will not be available for the public, not just for this, but for the public, for the reaction. And that's why we have to keep a reminder to the people every day to know that it is coming. They need to know that the person who is occupying that seat at Aso Rock committed something that our constitution says the Supreme Court must disqualify. And that is the highest court that must do this. So this is the time. You understand? This is time we tell them, show them, not just tell them, we show them. What we have been doing is telling them. But we need to show them our displeasure. We need to show them that we have read the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We need to show them that we have gone to school, that the payment for our school fees were not in vain. That's what we need to show them, and not just be telling them. We need to take action, and the time is now. So, for everybody where we say they listen to us, no matter how network they push us, they go, whether it carry us left, come right, we are able to come out every day to tell you that this is the time. Starts from Monday. If we did not take our country back, well, we'll continue talking. Our own, now to come here, come tell on and see how it take bio. No matter the people will be said and they chase us, now then go fall inside gutter if then they chase us. Our own, now to come out talk the truth and waiting we see, now we they talk. Make on a like and share. Make other people, obedience and well-meaning Nigerians worldwide, make them know and now be the time. That very time don't start. Nadeco USA, take it upon yourself, since you are calling the international community on a world press conference. Tell the world, let them know. Other people who had access to CNN, to BBC, and all other platforms, excuse me, this BBC stuff, NBC. Let them all go out there and tell them this is the time that we need to take Nigeria back. Thank you very much as you share and like this video. Thank you very much as you remember that people died 3 years ago. sacrificing their life. Thank you very much once again as you like and share this video to all audience, all well-meaning Nigerians across Nigeria to hear our cry and our lamentations that justice should be done to all Nigerians. Thank you very much. Bye for now.